What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Black Men's Health Check podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Jello. And first, I want to say Happy New Year and welcome to 2026. I hope you guys had an amazing Christmas and you had a chance to spend some time with your loved ones. Now that the festivities are over, let's get to it. In my first video, I talked about what I intend for this podcast to be. And the main thing is going to be about us as Black men and our health. Today, we'll mainly be talking about why us as Black men don't go to the doctor. A lot of us do not go to the doctor, at least until something is wrong. This has to change, and it has to change today. Now is the new year where we are all making, these New Year's resolution. And I want to make sure that, or at least I would like for this part of your resolution to be taking our health into your own hands and making it a priority for this year. Folks, your health is your wealth, and you're going to hear me repeating this throughout this podcast series and throughout my entire life. Without our health, nothing else matters. All right? So we have to change this. We will also be talking about accountability and having an accountability partner. Health is hard to manage by ourselves, especially the older we get and the busier we get, right? So we're going to be talking about having that person who is going to keep us accountable for what we need to do, whether it be making that appointment, taking that medication, keeping up with our routine we need to be kept up with. All right? So now that we have established what, main topics are, let's get into this, right? So let's be honest. A lot of us as Black men, we only go to the doctor when something is wrong. We were raised to be tough, let's tough it out, push through the pain, to keep going no matter what. Growing up, we saw a lot of men who never complain. Men who never slow down. Men who just basically, just never go for a checkup. And that mindset has stuck with us through the years. And that has to change. It has to change. Another reason is fear. Sometimes we just don't want to know, because knowing means we have to face it. We're going to have to deal with it. Change something, change a routine, change a pattern, change something. And change, as we all know, can be very uncomfortable at times. Then there is the mistrust. Historically, as Black men, we were not always treated fairly in the healthcare system. That history matters. That trauma is real. However, avoiding care is costing too many of us our lives. Being strong does not mean we have to ignore our bodies. We have to ignore our health. Being strong actually means protecting ourselves and our future. So hear this again. Being strong means we have to protect ourselves and our future. Our future matters. So here's the truth. Early detection saves lives. Issues like heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, prostate cancer, and this is just to name a few. These things affect us as Black men at higher rates than other races. And the dangerous part is, a lot of times, most of these has no symptoms at first. We can feel fine, look fine, function just fine, and there's underlying problems. We still be on a dangerous path. So not because we feel all right means that everything is good. A yearly checkup will help us check those numbers. Our blood pressure, our blood sugar, cholesterol, weight, prostate health, mental health. All these things we need to know where we are, what the threshold is. These numbers will give us a snapshot of where our bodies really are and where they should be. Are we on the right path? Are we, where we're supposed to be? Are things too high, too low? We need to know. This is not a guessing game. The guessing game is taking us out. So think of it like this. We don't wait for our car engines to blow up or the engine, to fall apart or a wheel to, roll off the car before we go get it checked out at the mechanic. So why do that with our bodies? Our health matters, folks. Our health is our foundation. Without it, everything else becomes harder, becomes secondary. We can't go to work. We can't function if our health is not good. And as I said before, we push through everything else. We push through no matter what. We'll be aching and hurting, and we still getting up and we're dragging and we go to work, even when we're not functioning at 100% or, at a high level. We push through. Folks, pushing through is not good enough. We need to make sure that we're okay so that way we can be best for ourselves, for our families, for our communities, right? So here's a call to action. Right now, you can pause this video. Make that appointment if you have not yet done so for this year. I know it's early. The year just began. It's new, early year. However, at times, based on who your primary care provider is, it takes a while to get on the appointment list. Call your doctor today. If you're too busy, ask your wife, your spouse, your girlfriend, one of your kids, a close accountability partner, to call and make that appointment for you. You need to have your physical today. I know in some countries, your physical is called something else. I know like in Jamaica, where I'm from, it's called your executive checkup or your executive doctor appointment. That's where, all your vitals are checked, right? It is important, right? So now let's talk about accountability. To me, this is where real change happens. Most of us as men, we try to do everything alone. We are Mr. Independent and, we can do all this stuff by ourselves. But let's be honest. Health is hard to manage solo. Life gets busy. We forget. We delay. We make excuses. I know for me, sometimes, man, I have all intention to do it. And if it's not on my calendar, I forget it. That is why accountability matters. An accountability partner is just someone who is going to check in on us, as I said before. It'll be that person who asks, hey, did you make that appointment? Did you take your meds? Did you go for that walk? How are you feeling mentally? That person could be a friend, a brother, a sister, a spouse, a gym partner, a coworker, just about anyone close to you. It's just one person. Doesn't have to be, an entire plethora of people. We already hold each other accountable for work, for money, for fitness. right? Why not for our lives? It is that important. We have to add this into the routine. If you don't have someone to be that person for someone else. To me, that's leadership. Or if we already have that person, you make sure you are that person, you be that one for another person. Okay? So now let's talk about normalizing health talk. We also have a cultural thing that we don't talk about our health. We talk about everything else under the sun except our health. We can talk about sports, so why not talk about blood pressure? We debate all the teams in the world. If it's basketball, we debate Lakers versus Miami Heats. With football, we debate all the different teams, right? We can talk about when was the last checkup. Health should not be a taboo. There is nothing weak about taking care of ourselves. There is nothing soft about wanting to live longer. I want you to think about that for a second. Nothing soft about us wanting to live longer. This is all about breaking generational pattern. Let's normalize talking about our health. We talk about everything else. Let's start talking about health. Okay? Let's keep this practical. Here's what we can all start doing today. Like I said before, schedule your annual physical. My brothers, it is important. Just make that call. This may be the most important call you make for your lives this year. So I'm beseeching you, make that phone call. Okay? Number 2, what you're gonna get from that call once you go for that physical is knowing your numbers. The guessing game is over. We have to know what our numbers are. What numbers am I talking about? You know what your blood pressure is. You have to know what your weight is. We need to know what our prostate numbers are. We need to know where we are on the mental scale, or a mental health scale. We need to know. Guessing game is over. No more guessing in 2026. Number 3, let us start moving our bodies more this year. A simple 20 minutes walk help. So for those of us who, do physical work on our feet all day long, kudos to you. You're already in that process. If you can have a health tracker, a smartwatch, or a fitness band can help track those steps, that's good stuff. If not, 20-minute walk, maybe around the parking lot, around the block, down the road, up the road, around the corner helps. Keep the body moving, active body. Because remember, a body at rest stays at rest. Let's start moving more. Okay? Number 4, let's drink more water. Our body needs it. Let's hydrate. So instead of, let's start substituting more water for a soda, more water for some, juice, especially all these sugary fake juice, right? Number 5, let's prioritize sleep and stress. Our bodies need to be able to rest so we can recover. We can't be out there working this hard and, just working hard and not sleeping enough. It creates stress on our bodies. So we get our, to me, and I think as a professional it says, 6 to 8 hours worth of sleep each day is really good for our bodies. Our bodies need rest so we can recover. Okay? All right, let's keep moving on. Another good suggestion. I really believe that this is a good one. A lot of us, okay, now we make that doctor's appointment. We're doing all the other stuff I mentioned. Now it's time to go for the appointment because you already made the call. Time for going to the doctor's office for the physical. You already did the blood work and all that stuff. Now it's time to go back now so you and the doctor can have those conversations. A lot of us gets nervous, especially if we haven't gone in a long time. We get nervous and we're like, oh my God, what's going to happen here? You don't have to do this by yourselves. You don't have to do this alone. Bring someone with you to that doctor's appointment. Remember, I said before, that accountability partner, we don't have to do this by ourselves, folks. So bring your spouse with you, bring a good friend, bring your sibling, bring someone with you into that exam room so that whatever you may be afraid to hear or whatever may have been ailing or whatever the case is, you have someone there who can rest a hand on your shoulder and say, my brother, it's going to be okay. Trust me, it helps having a comforting person in that room with you alongside with the doctor. Try it. You don't have to do this by yourselves, right? Because it's small steps that's going to create longer lives. So again, if you're nervous about the, the results of that, getting the result from the checkup, bring someone with you. It will help. So remember I said before, challenge for today, make the doctor appointment. Move more, all that list of stuff, right? Sleep more, hydrate more. Here's another challenge for you for today. Text just one brother. Just one brother. Text him and ask, when was your last checkup? That may be the most important text you make for this year. Right? That one text, okay? That one message can save that person's life. And if you already have an accountability partner, check in with them today. And again, just checking on them. You made that appointment. How was everything going? You're taking your medication. You taking, going for those walks. Exercise is going good. Check in with them today, because having, being that accountability partner and not checking in with them is really don't make no sense, right? So if you're that accountability partner, check in with them. And if nobody checks in on you, check in with someone, right? No, because you'll be fostering a communication path there where now, people start checking on each other. I have a small group of, small circle of guys that we check up on each other every day. My brothers, my actually blood brothers, my siblings and I, we are very close. We check in on each other, maybe not every day, but every few days. Hey man, how is everything going? We have close friends as well. We check in on each other. Do the same for yourselves as well. We all need each other. There's a poem by this poet called named Claude McKay that talks about no man is an island. Each man is my brother. Each man is my friend. We all need each other. So in closing, I want to say we rise together and iron sharpens iron. As Black men, we deserve long, healthy lives, not just survival, but longevity. We owe it to ourselves and to our families, to our communities, to take control of our health. Make that appointment today, my brothers. Build that accountability. Protect our future. If this message speaks to you, don't just keep it for yourself. Forward this video to another brother. Have this conversation with another brother. We have to help each other take better care of ourselves for this year. And in closing, I want to say, our health is our wealth. I'm your host, Kevin Jello. Thank you very much. Be blessed, be healthy.